Do you remember the haircut you gave me the first time you gave me a haircut?
Oh yeah, I have a picture of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you have a picture of the first haircut?
Mm-hmm. It was love at first cut.
Yeah, right? Damn. What's your fondest memory being here so far? That one moment, like referring to one instance.
I think the fondest moment I had was probably our grand opening party.
Really? Why?
That day was so eventful, and I still chose to cut a full day's worth of haircuts.
Oh, while we were grand opening, right?
Yeah.
I'll be quite frank, I never really imagined it. I always kind of fantasized the idea of just having my own business. This fills the void for like me and the homies. Like this is something that we wanted for ourselves. And we thought, because it's not out there, why not create it? I used to sit at my desk on my day job and think about like, you know, what are the possibilities? What could I be doing other than this? Is this the time, you know, is this the time for me to go out and do something? Hi, my name is Carve, and I'm one of the founders of Pell.
Check it out.
In undergrad, I studied accounting. I actually ended up getting my master's in it. I took the 5-year program at Baruch. I went on to pass all my CPA exams, and that was kind of like the goal for me because like, for my mom, she always told me this. She was like, as long as you get your license in something, I don't care what you do afterwards. So for me, I was just tunneling my way through that, and I was like, you know, as long as I can get that done, you know, I can feel free to let my mind roam. Does it relate to what I do now? In many aspects, a lot of people that meet me and right away, right out the bat, they always go, oh shoot, you used to be an accountant? Like all the finances must be super easy for you. And the fact of the matter is no, it does not, it doesn't translate. The reason being is that I am aware, but because of all the responsibilities that you have to do running the business on a daily basis, to go home and then to also do the books doesn't allow you to give the time to plan for the future of the business. I think the main difficulty that I faced when I reflect a lot was that we didn't know all the right people in the right places. Throughout most of my career for like the last 7 years before I started to do this, I was like working my way through one industry, and that's all the faces I was seeing at happy hour, all the networking I was getting done, it was like all around the same type of people. When it came down to like, hey, let's hire a designer, let's hire an architect, let's do somebody for lighting, you know, let's get an electrician, let's get a contractor. And then when all the pieces of the puzzle that you need to build a business, we had literally one. And so like we were looking at that board and we were like, oh crap, like this is where our learning curve is. Getting the right people to kind of give us the time of the day was really hard. As soon as we started to onboard these resources, we kept in touch and we kept the relationships with all these people. And being the fact that we're a barbershop, whenever somebody comes into the chair, I always joke around and I say like, this is the environment where I want you to build a relationship with not only us, but other clients in the space where you can get connected and we can be that connector for you guys. So because we go through so many people cutting so much hair throughout the day that sometimes, you know, we learn to build these relationships with all these people. We battle a lot of Asian stigma for barbershops. And what I mean by that is that's generally speaking. So if you're an Asian person, you're thinking haircuts, like how much do you think? Like how much do you pay for a haircut? And people are gonna be like $5, $7, $8. That price differential is something that we had to battle from the start. But our biggest challenge was like, how can we convince the Asian American kid or anybody actually, not just the Asian American kid, how can we convince somebody that our price point was not too much? And we're talking about like, you know, our prices being anywhere from $35 to $50. Everyone would ask us like, why? Like, what makes your shop so expensive? Like, and the crazy thing is that this only exists within Chinatown. Because if you go to a gentleman's shop, if you go to a barbershop out in Queens or barbershop out in Brooklyn, or one in Midtown, for example, you're gonna see haircuts for $50 and up. And then that's a common denominator over there. They used to call this Doyer Street and Pell Street Barber's Row. And that's because all the shops here are barbershops. I think it's cool because it meant a lot to us because to start here in Chinatown and especially on the street because it was kind of like, not to say like a modern revolution, but I say it's like the younger generation of us coming in here creating something for ourselves, you know. leveling up the experience for all the people around us. I always fantasized about being an entrepreneur. Growing up, it was always about hustling. I called it the Asian American narrative. Go to school, get the best grades, graduate, get a full-time job, a white-collar job preferably, right? And hopefully something professional and is licensed. And I think it's a very challenging thing for, I think, the first-generation Americans. To us, it's like, hey, are we working towards our parents' ideals or are we working towards something that we want? It's like, are we doing something to make our parents happy or doing something to make ourselves happy? Even though I don't know where the direction of this business is going to be headed, where the business is exactly going to be in 5 years, because I feel like everything can change so suddenly, being the fact that business moves so fast nowadays. But I do know one thing is that I do enjoy what I do here. I enjoy being able to be the connector for the people. I enjoy helping people build relationships. I enjoy just being able to make a difference, being able to make an impact on the younger version of myself. I think that's something that's very synonymous across the shop between everybody that I hire. What really motivates us is being able to help somebody just like ourselves, you know, or whether or not, it may not be just like ourselves actually, but being able to help somebody else. I think it's the big picture here. We never say it's about the cut. To be honest with you, you can go anywhere and get a haircut, but I think the connections made here are real. The people here are real, and we're here to just do this forever.